My first book was a graphic memoir called Lighter Than My Shadow. It was a story of my recovery from eating disorders and sexual abuse. So the story is told almost entirely in pictures, which I think is very appropriate for depicting things that we find really hard to talk about, really visceral, emotional material. You can convey so much more by using the metaphorical language of drawing than you can by trying to write about it. When I was first diagnosed with anorexia, I did a painting to try and explain to my parents how I was feeling, because we were struggling to understand each other. They couldn't understand why I couldn't just eat my dinner. I probably started having serious problems when I was about 13. So I did them this painting, but it was really effective in showing them the kind of turmoil that I was feeling. The books that I found kind of fell into two categories. There's really medicalised kind of books, and there were memoirs that kind of addressed the emotional side of things but didn't seem to give me very much hope. So I decided that I would write a book and come at it with a voice of it gets better. I start with a pencil sketch, very, very loose, just to show where I'm working on the paper. And then I use a fine pen to add one level of line work, and then I go in with an even finer pen to add the really, really tiny finishing details. I drew solidly 6 days a week for 18 months. And I did the chapters out of order because some of them were much more emotional to work on than others. So I did like a really difficult one, and then I'd reward myself by doing one that was a bit more relaxing. It brought all of this stuff back up into the present for me, harrowing stuff to put myself through again. I think before I did the book, I felt like I was a real victim of something that I couldn't control. But having done the book, I've been able to accept it more as part of just what's made me who I am and how I've got to where I am in my life. I always wanted to tell the story in the hope that it might help somebody else. But I guess I like to think that I wrote the book as a message to 14-year-old me. It's been amazing to get emails from people all over the world who've picked up the book and connected with it, from all kinds of ages and backgrounds, so parents, friends, people who suffered themselves, who've connected with it in some way or seen themselves in it. It's been really, really lovely.